past few weeks, we've been talking about the 10 Commandments. And I never really thought I'd be diving into these, 10 rules that I've heard all my life. But the truth is, if we really look closely at the 10 Commandments, we learn a lot about who God is and what's valuable to Him. So far, we've learned that God wants to be at the center of our lives because that keeps us free. We've also learned that God really cares about what we say and what we do in His name because we represent Him. But maybe most important of all, we've learned that the 10 Commandments are not there to just keep God happy. They're not just rules for us to follow so God will be satisfied with us. In fact, God's more like, I'm not trying to make you good. In fact, I've never tried to make you good. The truth is, we're so hopelessly not good that God's like, I sent my son to die for you. So believe in that. The 10 Commandments, they're about telling you how to live life, not for God's sake, but for our sake. So when we understand what the 10 Commandments are for, they're really not that intimidating. So after He talks about Himself, God kind of switches gears and he focuses on talking about how we relate to others. These are the commandments that are really, really easy to remember, the ones that are super practical. To be honest, these are so over the top that I doubt anybody has the goal to go out and break one of these commandments. So like we've said before, rules tell us about the rule maker. What God makes rules about tells us what He values and what He wants us to honor. So the first 4 commandments are about how we honor God. The last 6 commandments are about how we honor each other. For many of us, it's easy to focus on honoring God, but when it comes to how we treat other people, we'd rather really go our own way. My tendency is to not even connect how I treat people with my spiritual life. Really, how I treat the drive-through attendant affects my spiritual life? How does that work? The answer is in the 10 Commandments. See, God tells us to honor certain things. And when we don't honor those certain things, then we dishonor God. Honor your father and your mother so that you may live long in the land the Lord your God is giving you. You shall not murder or honor other people's bodies. You shall not commit adultery or honor marriage. You shall not steal or honor people's possession. You shall not give false testimony against your neighbor or honor others' reputations. You shall not covet your neighbor's house or honor God by being content. This is tough, but here's the catch. See, God created the universe. He created the way the world works. So when we don't value or don't honor what God values, we dishonor God. When we dishonor God, we sin. And when we sin, Romans says we reap death. Let me clarify that death for you. The word death, sure, it means the eventual physical death of all of us because we're sinful people living in a sin-cursed world. But even more than that, it means that the answer to sin is always death. Every time you sin, even individually, there's something that dies. We know this principle, but let me say it out loud. Take this for instance. You and your friend have a good relationship, but something goes wrong and you decide to start spreading rumors about them or talking bad about them behind their back. You sin against them and against God by dishonoring their reputation. The outcome of that sin is going to be the death of your relationship, of your friendship. It's almost like it's unavoidable that sin is going to equal death. The problem with death is it always brings bondage. So you could say that we were all free until we have to experience the consequences of death that happens in our lives. So God says, this is what's important, that you honor Him, that you love God, and you honor other people. See, if we cut the problems off at the root, then we don't have to experience being a slave to the bondage that comes with the sins that we commit. God places value in every person and desires for everyone to be free. And that's why the Ten Commandments are such a big deal. Not so that you can get in good with God, because remember, relationship always precedes rules when it comes to God. But it's so important because they're the only way that we can be free, the way God has created us to be free.